My name is Claire Bennett, and I am 36 years old. I had been married to my husband Ethan for 11 years. At a family dinner, he smiled across the table and told everyone how lucky he was to have me. His mother raised her wine glass. His father laughed. Everything looked perfect. Then I saw it, one tiny movement that didn't belong. His hand slipped toward my bowl, just for a second, too careful to be accidental. Something dropped inside. Then my spoon was quietly replaced. I didn't speak. I didn't react. I simply watched. And 7 minutes later, his entire family dinner turned into something none of them could control. Before I tell you what happened next, please hit like and subscribe. Drop your city and local time below. I love knowing where you're listening from. Now let me take you back 11 years. When Ethan said something I didn't fully understand until that night at his parents' house. I first met Ethan when life still felt simple. I was working long hours, studying patterns people miss, details others ignore. Even then, I noticed everything. The way people avoided eye contact, the way their hands told the truth before their mouths did. But my real foundation was my grandmother's house. Her kitchen always smelled like cinnamon and warm milk. The wooden floor creaked near the sink. The radio hummed softly in the background, always slightly off tune. Sunlight came through thin curtains and landed on the table like dusted gold. She used to press bread into my hands, rough fingers wrapping around mine. "You don't need to speak loudly to be heard," she once told me. "Just watch. People reveal themselves." I didn't fully understand it then. Every Sunday, we sat together eating soup from mismatched bowls. The ceramic always warm to touch, steam fogging the window behind her. I remember the sound of the spoon tapping gently against porcelain. Slow, repetitive, safe. My home life was different, quiet but not peaceful. Conversations that felt like negotiations, smiles that didn't reach eyes. My parents spoke in careful sentences like everything had consequences. Ethan's family, when I first met them, looked warmer. Loud laughter, heavy meals, constant movement around the table. His mother, Evelyn, always in control of the kitchen, always deciding who ate what and when. But even then, I noticed small things. Ethan's hesitation before answering his mother, her hand lingering too long on his shoulder, the way love sometimes sounded like instruction. Still, I told myself it was normal. Different families, different language. Then I married him, and every other weekend we returned to that same dining table. I just didn't know yet that tables like that can become stages, and someone is always directing the scene. 5 years into our marriage, my grandmother became sick. It started slowly, missed calls, short visits, then longer silences. Her kitchen grew quieter each time I went back. The radio stayed off. The last time I saw her fully awake, she held my hand longer than usual. Her skin felt thinner, fragile, like paper warmed too long in sunlight. "You still watching?" she asked me. "Yes," I said. She nodded once. "Good, don't stop." She passed away 2 weeks later. After the funeral, everything changed in her house. Boxes labeled, drawers emptied. The smell of cinnamon faded into cleaning chemicals and legal papers. My relatives didn't grieve the same way. They spoke in terms like distribution and assets. That word, assets, that's the word they use for everything that used to be love. Ethan's family noticed the shift in me but misread it completely, especially his mother. At dinner one night, I overheard her in the kitchen, her voice low, precise. "If she's emotionally unstable now, she'll agree to anything," she said. Ethan answered, quieter. "We just need her comfortable." Comfortable, not happy, not safe, controlled. I said nothing. I learned something that night. I wasn't part of their decisions. I was part of their calculations. And the strange part was, they stopped hiding it around me, as if I wasn't there. So I stopped pretending I wasn't listening. I started watching closer, closely enough to notice everything, even the things meant to be invisible. 3 months after my grandmother's death, I found the envelope. It was inside a locked drawer in her old writing desk, a drawer I had never been allowed to open as a child. The key was taped under the table. Inside was her handwriting and a name, a lawyer, not just any lawyer, someone she had quietly worked with for years. When I met him, he didn't ask many questions. He already knew my name. He already knew the family situation. He already had documents prepared. "You were always included," he said calmly. "You just weren't told." Then he showed me everything: accounts, transfers, conditions, protections placed in trust years before I married Ethan. My grandmother had structured things carefully, quietly, legally. Every move they thought they controlled already had limits. Then I heard something else. A phone call. Ethan's voice, his mother's. "She won't leave if she's unwell," Evelyn said. "We just need timing," Ethan replied. "Numbers, dates, a weekend dinner." My stomach went still. That was the plan, that dinner. Later that night, I sent a message to the lawyer. 2 words: "I'm ready." And that night, Ethan slept beside me, believing everything was still his to control. He had no idea the structure beneath him had already changed. The lawyer explained everything simply. "What they are attempting," he said, "relies on consent under confusion. If you are coherent and documented, they lose leverage immediately." "So I just observe?" I asked. "No," he replied. "You allow them to complete their mistake." Ethan became warmer that week, kinder in small ways. Coffee brought to me without asking, light touches on my shoulder, a version of him that almost felt like regret. His mother called me directly. "You've been tired lately," she said. "Come to dinner, I made your favorite soup." "I'll think about it," I said. That was all. My younger sister noticed something off in me during a phone call. "You sound far away," she said. "I'm just thinking," I told her. That night, I sat alone in my grandmother's old chair. The wood still remembered her shape. The air still carried faint traces of cinnamon if I stayed still enough. I almost called Ethan, almost told him I knew, but I remembered her words, "Just watch." So I cried quietly instead, not from confusion, from clarity. I wish this were different. I wish Ethan had been the kind of husband who would have chosen honesty instead of control. I wish Evelyn had been the kind of mother who protected instead of arranged. I wish I had been allowed softness without suspicion. But wishes don't hold up against planning. What I had now did. It was 11:50 p.m. The house was silent. Ethan asleep upstairs, the world reduced to a single desk lamp and my laptop screen. The lawyer's call connected. "Everything is aligned," he said. I signed the final document. My name, clear, final. 12:03 a.m. I am Claire Bennett. I am no longer unprotected. The lawyer's voice stayed calm. "It's done." "Thank you," I said. He paused. "They won't understand it yet." "I know," I replied. And downstairs, across town, Ethan was still rehearsing his version of control, still believing dinner would unfold exactly as planned. He would find out in a few hours, much too late to adjust anything. I closed the laptop and listened to the silence. The next evening, the dinner table was full again. Smiles, wine glasses, familiar voices. Ethan pulled me aside before dessert. "We need to talk about the promotion again," he said softly. "Seattle isn't right for us anymore. My mother thinks—" "I've already made my decision," I said. His smile tightened. "About what?" Then his phone rang. A pause, a longer silence. I watched his face change as he listened. "No," he said quietly. "That can't be correct." He looked at me like I was still the person he thought I was. I wasn't. I hadn't been for months. When he hung up, his mother was already standing behind him. "What did you do?" she asked. I didn't answer immediately. "I followed instructions," I said finally. The room felt smaller. Ethan didn't sit down. He didn't speak again for a long time. My grandmother used to say, "Just watch. People reveal themselves." I used to think she meant patience. She meant truth. Ethan's plan collapsed under its own design. Evelyn's control didn't survive exposure. The lawyer ensured everything stayed exactly where it was supposed to be. Ethan left quietly months later. Evelyn never apologized fully. My sister came to visit me once, just to sit in silence and understand.